The conclusion from the panel discussion is that the traditional role of lawyers cannot be replaced by AI. That is there. Because the human mind, it's not that the legal thinking does not work in a timeline. You have some issues, your mind is working 24 hours. And sometimes it is very odd hours that you get a point, a good point for your case. So it's not fixed timeline for a legal reasoning to work on. So with this, I open the discussion to the floor. Any questions, any observations? I think everybody in this hall is impacted either way with this AI. Yes, please. My friend from Australia, the president of Law Council of Australia.
Thank you. That's been a very interesting presentation and very insightful. One thing that has been troubling me, and only because one of our Chief Justices has actually asked the Law Council how we were going to make sure that our first and second year lawyers would still have jobs at the end of the introduction of Gen AI through all of the firms is this. One of the most important ways that you learn as a young lawyer is to make mistakes and have them corrected, and have them corrected by a person in front of you. I am wondering what your insights might be about young lawyers using AI to prepare first drafts and then not having gone through the process of actually thinking about how to create the first draft themselves and make the mistakes to get corrected. So they get a product that is probably far better than they could do themselves, but they don't pick up the flaws in the creative process of that. And I'm just wondering how we accommodate that in our teaching of young lawyers. It was a bit like the point that I raised yesterday. How do we get our first and second year lawyers to become useful third and fourth year lawyers with the knowledge that our third and fourth year lawyers have at the moment about how to do things, if they're being taught in a different way?
Would you like to answer this?
Thank you for your question. The young lawyers, the fresh lawyers, they provide the first draft by using AI. I'm not calling for getting rid of basic law principles. They should, as a lawyer, they should have the very strong legal theories and principles. The rule still stands there. We need to integrate the technology into classes that are already being taught in. For example, in the contract class, students should use AI to write and think about a phrase. It would be possible to run an e-discovery exercise in civil procedure law and commercial law. It's important to teach along with the tools, not just the tools themselves. Not just the material has changed, the way it's done has too. Thank you.
Can I also offer two short answers? The first one, again, looking back, the use, for example, Lexis and Westlaw, sometimes I would ask the junior and the pupils as to what are the keywords you have searched or you have keyed into the tool. I think in the AI era, probably we have to do what we have to do about correcting mistakes for the juniors. It's not just to look at the end product itself. Perhaps we as the trainers would need to ask them to reveal to us what were the prompts, what questions you have asked, what instructions you have given, because that really is the thought process. Perhaps, again, that this is something that we have missed in the past. We just tell the people how to use Lexis and Westlaw, and we hardly ask them how did they actually use it. Going forward, for the AI training, perhaps that would be the focus. Second, is actually the encouragement of teamwork. I think, again, this is something missing in the legal education in the past. We quite encourage people become ever more individualistic. And we quite, fancy, all of us becoming Harvey Specter in Suits, that I am the closer and it's always me and I. But perhaps in the AI era, it's even more important to encourage the young lawyers to work as a team and to collaborate as a team. And that is where the human factor can be amplified and can be emphasized.
The matter is clear. Actually, nature has installed AI instrument in our mind. By birth, we are inquiring a lot of things. Also, we start by bicycle, then motorcycle, car, aeroplane. In such a line, development process is going on. I think there should not be installation of modern AI instrument in our mind replacing the old one. So it is just supplementary and addition that will beautify our presentation. Thank you.
I think each one of is impacted.
We have two questions from here. Tom.
Okay. So may I request Pooja to ask your question? Yes.
I do not have a question per se to the
Just
panelists,
an observation.
but I would like to highlight certain points with regard to India. Recently, I've come across that AI has been, education with regard to AI has been introduced in school. I have come across this only in one school. But my suggestion would be AI should be introduced with regard to high school students and higher secondary school students, so that when they enter the legal education system, they are well aware about the basic concepts of AI. That is the first step. Secondly, when we go to the legal education step, we come across the national law universities in India. We have paperless national law universities as well in India. But if we talk about traditional law colleges, they are not at all equipped with AI. They don't have facility to various softwares like Westlaw, Manupatra, SEC Online, etc. So these things need to be brought in the traditional law colleges as well. Now, when we talk about litigation, the Honorable Supreme Court of India has introduced the Electronic Supreme Court Reports, ESCR. It used to be in a hardbound form earlier. Now we have the ESCR, which provides us with all the Supreme Court judgments as well as High Court judgments. So just like
Free of cost.
Free of cost. Just like the SEC Online is now developing an AI developed SEC, in the same way, if the Supreme Court would develop ESCR into an AI assisted ESCR, it would be a beneficial move, and the gap between the top law firms and the small law firms can be bridged. Thank you.
But you start the AI at the school level, then where the reasoning come from?
The reasoning will come later,
Yes.
but the basic
So
concepts
those is
of how to search,
before
what to search.
Before 12, she says.
How to search and what to search should be known at least.
Any observation?
I have to.
After there's one more. You were asking the gentleman there? Pooja, please give the mic. You be the last.
Thank you so much. Our respected President, Chair, made a very important observation. Empathy and constitutional morality cannot be replaced by AI. It is with that spirit, I am Ananta Kumar Giri, a sociologist and philosophical interest. My query is that so far in this session we have talked about ethics, but also we need to talk about aesthetics. There is a very important genealogy of linking law and literature, and it is in that context in what way AI and legal education must include not only ethical issues, but aesthetic issues. And my second quick query is that the legal profession does not work in isolation of society. Profession also has a cult of closed professionalism, and that is not helpful for society. So how does profession creates a critique of closed professionalism so that it is also responsive to society, and in that way how technology can help us in opening up a sense of closed professionalism to a much more responsive professionality.
The aim of, yes, I agree with the aim of law is prosperity, happiness, peace, harmonized relationship, distribution of materials to all the people. Law is struggling to establish its place in the society. It is in a struggling stage up to the present time. One of incidents I remember, law has secured victory only in one occasion. That is, it has defeated and eliminated sati system. Apart from this, I hardly find out any example in which law is winner. So, law must be strengthened. In order to strengthen law, different devices of different disciplines of the society must support to legal provision, in which AI is one of the tools. Actually, humanity is our supreme religion, practical religion, our goal, our objective, that is supported, propounded by Mahatma Gandhi as well. As a consequence, AI should be introduced in school education. How to apply, what are merits, demerits, what is humanity, that should be included in curriculum as well. And basic perspectives of the society must have been preserved, bad customs must have been eliminated. I do agree with both presenters. Okay.
Thank you very much. I think that is almost the best to finish. One short comment of my side. Again, like I said yesterday, we talk about what we need to introduce in universities, coding and all this. Don't we need to also accept the limits of ourselves? I mean, when the telephone was introduced or the first emails, I didn't learn how this technology was developed and how it was coming about. I used it, and I think we all used it. So the fear that AI will take over, I think it's a bit exaggerated. I agree with you that it's a tool we should embrace. And also this, where do they learn, the young students or kids in school? Well, they learn because they use it. Like we learned how to use the email or the telephone or the first BlackBerry, and we never questioned what is behind this. I think where we are all fearful, why we kind of try to find an answer, is that we don't really foresee how deep this will replace us. I think that is really the issue. Before we had the feeling, it will not replace us. Yes, email replaced the letters and the papers partially, but I don't think we should be so fearful, and we should just accept that there are specialists who will do it. We have to give a frame like we do with legal concepts, always giving a framework. Laws will never be detailed, never be focused only on one case, but gives a framework. And if we have then a problem, we will call the experts at expert witnesses to tell us what was the coding and so forth. So I would recommend that we don't overdo it with the educational system. I think it's the contrary. We need to go back to the principles which are taught, ethics and all what you from Mr. Chen, what you outlined. And the tools It was the first draft. When you enter a law firm and you don't know anything, because honestly, once we are finished with law school or bar exams, we don't know anything. What did happen in our age? We were supposed to set up a company. So we went to a senior colleague or other colleague and said, do we have a draft of the papers to set up a company? So basically, what we do now by giving prompts or asking ChatGPT or maybe the internal computer programs of law firms is the same before, because we were also looking for drafts. If partners in big law firms need something, they write around an email, hey, does anybody have a whatever formulation for this or that? It's nothing else than if I ask a computer program which is specialized or general ChatGPT. So we should not confuse our fear in our generation to be replaced in the future with the question, how do we educate? My sons, they educate themselves. Yes, they use ChatGPT. They probably even kind of try to trick the teachers because they generate and they put it in another program that it's more human. They put it 3-4 times until the new program says, oh, this is now like a human, and the teacher cannot detect it. That is creativity. And they still have to set up the mind, what do I want to achieve? And this is the beauty. That's why we are lawyers, because every case is new.
Yes.
There is not a possibility to overcome with one prompt every other case. No, it's always only the basis, and then we lawyers kick in. So I don't foresee that there's such a big change.
True, I agree. Any comment from here? No. There's a question from, yes. Go ahead.
I think first I will give my observations. Thank you, the chair. I think just now you were talking about introducing the AI as a part of the curriculum in the school. So my observation, this is not a question, my observation is that AI is not cannot be widely used in the least developing countries because of various reasons. There may be lack of reliable internet connections, computing powers, then insufficient funds, and as well as they may not have trained, there may be a shortage of trained personals. And well, in the context of Bhutan, well, I have to share my, I think, views on that, observations. The judiciary, the use of AI tool I'm talking about in the legal system in Bhutan, till now we haven't even heard of it being used there, because the size of the population is less than 1 million, and the judiciary in Bhutan is very efficient, very transparent, and we are responsive to the needs of the people. And there's also no language barrier till now, I think, that the judiciary has been facing, because the language in the court is both in English as well as in our language. And there are translations also available in our courts. So that's just I wanted to just share with you. But in the case of like India, where you have millions of backlog of cases, it may be very useful, because it can be useful in speeding up the processes for the case management, and of course improve the accessibility for leveraging the tool of the AI, especially for the case management. But I want to again share with you all that Bhutan is the 5th largest investor in cryptocurrency. So when you talked about this in your presentation,
Yes.
I think I heard about the use of AI tool in cryptocurrency. So in that, I think respect, I'm sure that I know nothing about it, but probably Bhutan must be using this. It will be very useful to use AI tool in that. So
Yes,
till
thank
now, I
you.
think, till now, we are not closing our doors,
Thank
but thank you so much.
Now, Anandita is the last question, last observation.
There are more questions there, so I would not like
But
to take time. We would rather take their questions.
because we are already
Thank you so
delayed
much.
by, yes, you are intruding on lunchtime.
I'll directly go to my question. Mr. Chan has been talking about the litigants coming with the prior research and coming with their own AI-generated documents that they come to you and ask you to submit their documents in absence of adequate time. And my question is related to that. If a adamant client come to you with a document that is being generated by the AI, and then in your opinion you feel that document, that particular document that is brought in by your client is not going to help that particular client, and then you will have your own observations and legal weighting over that, but then you don't have time. And then you also don't agree to your client that you're going to go with that particular document. So in that kind of situation, whereby the outcome of the case is, no matter how hard you work or how sincere you commit yourself to the work, the outcome of the case is not guaranteed. And in case at the end, if you get a different result,
be brief, please. Can you be brief? Yes.
Yeah. If you get a different result and you have not listened to your client and you went by yourself on your own to giving your the responses to the case, then the client may allege you of some of your professional duties that you have not listened to your client, where you have the utmost duty towards the client. So in that situation, do you have any kind of regulation, the professional ethics and conduct of the lawyer, where you can insert some kind of changes and provisions to protect that? Thank you.
Thank you. I think it's just the same as any other urgent situation. Time and again, we receive very urgent instructions, whether with or without a thick pile of AI-generated documents. And again, this is the importance of going back to the ethical code. How do we generally deal with urgent instructions as such? If we are only given so much time and so many materials, normally how do we deal with it? And it all goes back to the code itself and our professional ethics in general. If we just have that much of time, of course we have to honestly tell the client that, look, I'm not a magician. I'm not even very AI savvy. And in such a given time, I can only give you so much. It's that very basic professional interactions that, in my opinion, will save the day. Because the court will recognize in the future litigation about negligence or whatnot, the court still has not disregard the human factor in us or the human limit in us. And let's hope that it stays that way.
With that, we will conclude this session. Thank you. Sorry, Anindita, you have to stay. So I thank all the panelists.